Mahia, 5 years later, 1987. We had intended in this update to show you how Mahia has changed for the better. But unfortunately, all we can show you is a Mahia who has suffered destruction, decay, and desolation. We're going to continue with the story, but be forewarned, it's not pretty. Remember the Mahia Coca-Cola Bottling Company? Well, it is no more. What was once a Mahia institution is now a rotting hulk of stone and wood. Five years ago, when we visited Mahia Theater, it was showing a movie named Megaforce. Well, we had the movie played up as some sort of multi-million-dollar project, and we had Mahia Theater built up as a 70-millimeter Dolby Sound stereo system. Well, it was all a bunch of crap. Megaforce was one of the worst movies ever made, and Mahia Theater was a mere 35-millimeter project, and it had mono sound. But it still had its place in Mahia. Now, it's going to be turned into a Mexican church. The last film to be shown here was an Eddie Murphy picture named Golden Child. Well, I guess there's some irony there, but I just can't find it. 5 years ago, in this very spot, I interviewed a man who worked at the Mahia Bottling Company, Coca-Cola Bottling Company. I just wonder what that man's doing now. Shortly after we did our segment here, I was employed at Mahia Theater as a projectionist. Now, I have nothing but memories. Shut it off. Remember the infamous Ray's Cocaine Cakes and Donuts? Well, shortly after we did our segment here, it became Jim's Donuts. Shortly after that, it became closed. Ray, alias Jim, is now rotting in some prison and in some unknown location. We didn't have time 5 years ago to show you the old Dairy Queen in Mahia. Now that we do have the time, it isn't here. The old Dairy Queen, where I consumed food as a child, turned into a Monopoly's Park place. Now it's the useless structure you see here, and I'm not very happy about it. I'm going to give this a good home, damn it. Remember what used to be in this location here? Neither do I, but it's not here now. 5 years ago, when we did our segment on the drag here in Mahia, we had several shots of the 7-Eleven store in the space that's behind me. Well, a Mahia arsonist took care of that. In 1984, the Mahia 7-Eleven store burned to the ground in one of the many fires that engulf Mahia's institutions every year. Unfortunately, the manager, Brian Gill, did not take this down point easily. Shortly after this picture was taken, he committed suicide. A pity. A damn pity. And this is the place where professional rip-off artist Sister Fatima ran her mock palm reading institution. Shortly after we did our segment here, Sister Fatima became Sister Sylvia. Then Sister Sylvia became arrested and run out of town after claiming she could cure a young girl of cancer with her magical powers. Five years ago, this sign looked just like it does now. Some things never change. The Comanche Crossing Bridge, 5 years ago, a vital part of Lake Mahia. Now, a dinosaur, replaced by this new and improved bridge. But my question is, what about sediment? What about the Comanches who hundreds of years ago crossed this bridge into a new and free land? Can their ghosts rest now, knowing that this magnificent structure has been abandoned and used as a fishing spot? I think not. This is the Lake Mexia Marina. 5 years ago when we visited here, we reported that sometimes a great white shark inhabits the waters of the swimming area here. Well, we were just having our jollies. The truth is, a great white shark didn't run off the swimmers here. It was the depression. That's all, just a depression. If you look here to this side of me, you'll see that weeds have started to grow up over the lake. It's a sad thing to witness. I guess there's nothing we can do about it but just bawl. Just about the only positive thing we could find to come out of Mexia in the past 5 years is the fact that Walmart is expanding. Soon the Mexia residents will be able to enjoy, in spite of all this destruction, a live pet center, an expanded drug center, and a snack bar. Let's just hope that all this construction will be completed before the place burns down. I'm sorry I sound bitter, but just look at what we've seen. I grew up in Mexia, so I've grown a personal attachment to the people, the life, the sights, the sounds that Mexia has to offer. So when Mexia starts to decay, and when businesses start to go under, and when rip-off artists start to get run out of town, then I get upset. Because every time something in Mexia goes down, part of me goes down with it. It's sad to realize, to just sit back and watch helplessly as Mexia begins to rot in the midst of desolation. Sometimes I could cry. It wouldn't do any good. This has been J-Reel for Life, Sights, and Sounds of Mexia. The 5-year update. Goodbye.